Dear students, welcome to the session of the solution of CUET mock exams. So here I am explaining the solutions of the quantitative aptitude session. Hope you experience that kind of a good performance in that exam because most of the questions are comparatively easier, not much complicated. Even though we have to learn some of the additional concepts to solve some of the questions from the set of questions. So here I will teach you which are the tricks behind each and every question and which is a smarter way to reach the conclusion of each question easily. So here first question, it's from the topic numbers. If the 8-digit number 789x531y is divisible by 72, then the value of 5x minus 3y. Here we are going to find out what is the value of x and y. Then after that we can apply that value in this expression 5x minus 3y. So how we can find the answer for such a question? Here first of all we have to consider this number 789x53y. So this number it should be divisible by 72. So what is this 72? As per the divisibility of 72 means this is nothing but 8 into 9. We have to check the divisibility of these two factors 8 and 9. So just recall what is the divisibility rule for 8 and what is the divisibility rule for 9. First we can consider the divisibility rule for 9. So divisibility rules for 9 as per the divisibility of 9. As per the divisibility of 9. What is the required condition? Sum of the digits should be a multiple of 9. That's the required condition. Sum of the digits should be a multiple of 9. So how we can apply the concept here? Sum of the digits. So here the sum of the digits is 7 plus 8 plus, while we are considering this number, 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus, just add up together. 7 plus 8, 15, plus 9, 24, 24 plus 5, 29, 29 plus 3, 32, plus 1, 33. So this entire sum is 33 plus x plus y. If you want to make it as a multiple of 9, what should be the value for x plus y? Our requirement is we have to keep this sum as a multiple of 9. So here we will get the value of x plus y. X plus y is, so which is the first such value here? When we put x plus y equal to 3. So what will be this sum? X plus y equal to 3. That's one possibility. Therefore the sum will become 36. So that's a multiple of 9. Like that we can approach. Or further we can consider, we just add 9 to this number, 3 plus 9. That is 12. That's also another one possibility because x plus y can be at the maximum 18 because x and y are two single digit numbers. And which will be the next possibility? We just add up 9 to this number. 12 plus 9, that is 21. It's not possible because the maximum sum of two single digit numbers equal to 18. Therefore, we can consider these two possibilities. Now we are moving to the second condition, that is the divisibility rule for 8. So that's the second condition as per the divisibility of 8. What is the condition? Divisibility by 8. Last 3 digits of a given number should be divisible by 8. That's the condition. Here the last 3 digits, 31y. So 31y is divisible or should be divisible. Should be divisible by 8. Think about such possibility. 31y. For which value of y this expression will become a multiple of 8. For that purpose, we can consider immediately you can reach a value nearest to 310 that is a multiple of 8. So we know that 320 is a multiple, right? 320 is a multiple of 8. Easily we can reach the range because 8 into 4 is equal to 32. Put 1 0 there, 320. Just subtract 1 8 from there. So what you will get? That is 312. Yeah, definitely 312 is a multiple of 8. So now we got the idea what should be the value of y here. As 312 is a multiple of 8, we got y equal to 2. Y equal to 2. Then think about these two possibilities. Here we know that x plus y equal to 3. If x plus y equal to 3, what is the value of x here? X equal to 1. If x plus y equal to 12, what will be the value for x? X is equal to 10. Is it possible? Here x is a single digit number, therefore it is not possible. Therefore we got the values of x and y are 2 and 1. Then what we are going to find out here, our expression is 5x minus 3y. We are going to find out this sum, 5x minus 3y. What will be the value here? Suppose if we need to find out 5x minus 3y. Just substitute the value of x and y in this expression. This is 5 into 2, that is 10, minus 3 into 1. So what will be the value here? 5x minus 3y. Sorry, it's in the reverse order. Here this value will become 5 into 1 minus 3 into 2. What is 5 into 1? That is 5 itself. And 3 into 2, that's equal to 6. 5 minus 6, which will be equal to minus 1. Hence our answer is option 2, minus 1. So this is the easiest way to reach the conclusion from such a question. It's the divisibility rule we are applying in such a question. Now we can move to the second question. A man wills 40% of his wealth to his wife and rest to his children. What percent of the wealth willed to the wife do the children get? It's a percentage question. You have to understand the percentage concept here. So here the simple logic. Suppose the total wealth is 100. So it's willed towards wife, that is 40. So then wife and children. So if wife received 40%, so 100's 40%, that's 40 itself. We just simply consider 100 rupee distributed like this. So this wife received 40 rupee and children received 60 rupee. So the next point is very important, how to understand the situation or how to interpret the question properly here. What percent of the wealth willed towards wife? After this of, that's the wealth towards wife, therefore this should be the base. Do the children get? So that means we are going to find out children divided by wife into 100%. This is our required percentage. So that means here 60 is what percent of 40. So this we are going to find out. And while we are considering this set of values here, we can simplify these values. Both these values are multiples of 20, right? So this is 3 by 2 into 100%. What is 3 by 2 into 100%? Which is equal to 150%. It's such a simple question. But this understanding is very important. What is the trap in this question? Suppose if you misinterpret, after this step, if you misinterpret the order of this fraction, you may end up in a wrong conclusion, that is 66.66. How it will become? So instead of 3 by 2, you may consider its reciprocal value, that is 2 by 3. What is 2 by 3? That is 66.66. There you have to consider this keyword of. Immediately after of, which value occur? That should be the base of the operation. That's a simple trick here. So it's another tricky question from numbers. Consider the sequence. Here 1 1, 2 2s, 3 3s, 4 4s, 5 5s, 6 6 and 7 7s. We are going to find out the arithmetic mean of this set of numbers. So how to find the arithmetic mean of a set of numbers? So arithmetic mean, or in general we just consider that is the average. How to find the average? Here that is sum of observations divided by number of observations. Here we are going to find out the sum of these observations. Instead of writing the values like this, we can consider there is 1 time 1, 1 time 1, plus 2 times 2 is there, 2 times 2 is there, and 3 times 3 is there. Yeah, now we got a pattern, etc. It contains 7 times 7 up to this value. Up to this value we have to consider. Got it? 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, etc. up to 7 times 7. What should be the denominator here? So that is number of observations. Number of observation 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus, because 1 1 is there, 2 2 is there, 3 3 is there. Therefore we can write the denominator as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus, etc. up to 7. Simple. Now we know that the numerator is the sum of the squares. Got it? So we can write it like this. This is 1 square and 2 square, 3 square, etc. 7 square. And denominator, that's simply sum of the natural numbers up to 7, etc. 7. How to find it? Here we have to consider the result. How to find the sum of first n natural squares and how to find the sum of first n natural numbers. So sum of first n natural squares, so we can directly apply the result here. Sum of first n natural numbers, that is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. This is the sum of first n natural squares. And on denominator, that is sum of first n natural numbers. How to find it? So that is n into n plus 1 by 2. So if you are doing this simplification, we can directly simplify the values like this. So here 2 and 6 we can cancel, that is 3. N into n plus 1 entirely we can cancel. So therefore this is simply 2n plus 1 by 3. So here instead of n, what we have to put in this context? So that is nothing but n is equal to 7. So if we put n is equal to 7 in such a situation, this is 2n plus 1 by 3. So instead of n is equal to 7, this is 2 into 7 plus 1 by 3. How it will become? This is 2 into 7, 14 plus 1, 15. 15 by 3. The answer is equal to 5. Clear? So this step, that's very important. You just remember that summation results. Sum of first n natural numbers, sum of first n odd natural numbers, sum of first n even natural numbers, natural squares, odd natural squares, even natural squares, then similarly cubes also. That's very important. You may get the questions related to those concepts. So here we can conclude our answer is option 2, that is 5. Clear? So now we can move to the next question. A dealer sells a machine having marked price as rupees 3840 at a discount of 20%. What is the selling price of the machine? So there is a discount of 20%. So how to find it? If discount is 20%, discount. So here first marked price is given. If you want to write the steps, step by step approach, this is marked price that mentioned as 3840 and here the discount, that is 20%. Therefore, how we can conclude the selling price? Selling price is nothing but we have to subtract this 20% from marked price. So 20%, if you are subtracting 20%, it becomes 80%, right? 80%. So simply this 20% is applicable on marked price. Therefore, this is 80% of the marked price. So just find the product here. Easily we can do the operation here. This is simply 8 into 384. Think about, we should be the unit digit of this product. Unit digit of product is nothing but 2. 8 into 4, 32. We know that you have to write 2. Look at the set of options. Which options ends with the 2? So that's only the first option. Therefore, our answer, you don't want to waste your time for the calculation, entire calculation. That's a very simple question. So next one. 2 pipes of length 1.5 meter and 1.2 meter are to be cut into equal pieces without leaving any extra length of pipes. The greatest length of the pipe pieces of the same size which can be cut from these 2 lengths will be. Can you identify? This question is from which topic? Yeah, it's from HCF and LCM. So it's a case of HCF. So here we have 2 lengths, 1.5 meter and 1.2 meter. So we have to find the greatest length of the pipe pieces, such pieces. That is nothing but greatest common factor. Because it is given that equal pieces into equal pieces without leaving any extra length of pipes. Therefore, here we are going to find out the greatest length of such pipe. So therefore, so required length or the greatest length of such pipe. So that is nothing but HCF of. So here the values are 1.5 meter and 1.2 meter. 1.5 meter and 1.2 meter. Clear? So how to find the HCF of such type of decimals? So you can write it like this: HCF of 1.5, you can write it as 15 by 10, and 12 you can write it as 12 by 10, right? So how to find the HCF of fractions? Do you know how to find the HCF of fractions? HCF of fraction is nothing but HCF of numerators and LCM of denominators. Here the denominators 10 each. What is HCF of 15 and 12? Think about the LCM of HCF of 15 and 12. So here HCF of 15 and 12 is nothing but 3. What is the LCM, least common multiple of 10 and 10? Obviously that is 10. So what you will get? This is, if we are converting it in the form of decimals, that is 0.3. So the answer is 0.3 meter. If you are facing a difficulty in this kind of decimal operations, then only you need to convert it. Otherwise, you can easily catch the answer from the option itself. How it's possible? So here you just simply check this 1.5 and 1.2, it's divisible by which among these options. So that's a simple logic. Or otherwise you just consider, here these two are two one decimal place numbers. Instead of 1.5, you have to consider that as 15 and think about the another number that is 12. 15 and 12, what is the HCF of 15 and 12? That is 3. So then give that decimal place back. So therefore HCF of 1.5 and 1.2 is 0.3. That's a simple logic. This is a conventional approaching style. If the simple interest on ₹1 for 1 month is 1 paise, then the rate percent per annum. Don't forget, we are going to find out the rate percent per annum. It is given that period is 1 month. Here, if the simple interest on ₹1, so therefore what is the principal here? So that is ₹1. And here we have the ₹1, you have to consider, you can write it as 100 paisa. ₹1, you can write it as 100 paisa. And the period of compounding, simple interest, not compounding, simple interest. And the period of investment, that is 1 month. So 1 month. If you want to convert it into years, that is 1 by 12 years. 1 by 12 years. And the simple interest here, so that is equal to 1 paisa. 1 paisa. We are going to find out the rate. As we know the result, simple interest is equal to PNR by 100. If you need to find what is this R, so we can rearrange this. This is simple interest into 100 divided by P into N. So how we can apply these values here? Here simple interest is 1 paise into 100 divided by P into N. So here principal amount is 100 and N is nothing but 1 by 12 years. So this much percentage. How it will work? So here we can cancel 100, 100, 1, 1. This 12 goes to the numerator. Therefore, our answer is 12%. So that's a simple concept. So how we can logically find it? Here it's 100 rupee. Each month it will give 1 paise as interest. Then what is a percentage? So each month 1 paise, then what will be the annual simple interest here? That is 12 paise. Correct. So what is 12 paise with respect to 100 paise? So that is simply 12%. That's a simple logic here. Correct. So like that also we can catch the answer. So this is a frequently tested question, most of the competitive exams. So not only this one, so therefore it's such an important question. Another one question, two numbers whose sum is 84 cannot be in the ratio. So that's a very basic concept of ratio. If we want to distribute this 84 into any of these ratios, there is a simple condition. Sum of the ratio values, this is sum of the ratio values, should be a factor of 84. Here sum of ratio values. Sum of the ratio values should be a factor of 84. So we have to check it. Is it a factor? Yes. So this is 13 into 8, what it is, 21. Is it a factor of 84? Yes, sure, this is also a factor. What about 1 plus 3, that is 4. Is it a factor of 84? Yes. What about 3 is to 2, that their sum is equal to 5. Is it a factor of 84? No. Our question, which among the following cannot be in the ratio? So therefore, which will be the answer here? Answer is 3 is to 2. Because rest all ratio sum is a factor of 84. Therefore, that's the answer here. Then the next question is from profit and loss. Profit obtained on selling an article for 310 is equal to the loss incurred on selling that article for rupees 230. What will be the loss percentage when selling price is 180? First of all, you have to understand the situation properly. What the meaning of this concept? In such a question, profit obtained on selling an article for rupees 310. So you just consider cost price here. Suppose if you are selling this article at 310, so there is a profit, X rupee profit we just consider. And selling an article at rupees 230, it should make a loss of X rupee. So both this profit and loss are same. That means this cost price is equidistant from these two values. Because these two values are same, these differences are same. So how we can find out this cost price? Cost price is nothing but the midpoint of these two values. So therefore, cost price is 230 plus 310 by 2. That's simply the midpoint. This way we can find the midpoint, or that's average, like that we can consider. So how it will become? This is 540 by 2, which is equal to 270. Which is equal to 270. Then our question, what will be the loss percentage when selling? It says 180. So therefore here we just consider it's a new selling price. New selling price is 180. As we know, the cost price of this article is 270, but now he is selling it at 180. So then here we have to find out what is the loss percentage. So here the loss. So here that's the difference between these two values, that's equal to 90. Then what is loss percentage? Loss percentage. So here if you are considering the loss percentage in such a situation, this is 90 out of the cost price. This loss out of the cost price into 100. And we can simplify it easily. This is 90 by 270. That's simply 1 by 3, right? 1 by 3 into 100%. It's a quite common value, 1 by 3. What is the corresponding percentage value of 1 by 3? Can you recall? So that is simply 33 and 1 by 3%. Here the loss percentage is 33 and 1 by 3%. This is a way of approach towards this kind of a question. Keep this idea in your mind. Whenever you will get similar type of a question, you can directly reach the cost price using this method. So second part, that's introducing a new selling price. Based on that new selling price, we are going to find out the loss percentage. Next one, the cost price of a chair is 25% less than the cost price of a table. If a man sells 5 chairs at the cost price of 7 tables, what is his profit percent? It's also a basic question, but you need to make some of the assumptions here based on the given data. It is given that the cost price of a chair is 25% less than the cost price of a table. Like that we can consider. This is chair and table. Correct. So here cost price we are going to assume 25% less. What is the corresponding fraction of this 25%? That is 1 by 4. I'll teach you an easiest way to reach the assumptions of the cost prices of these two articles. You just simply put the cost price of table as 4. Why? That's the denominator of such a fraction, comparative values fraction. Its denominator you have to keep as a base. Here it expresses the price of chair with respect to the price of table. Therefore, you have to keep the cost price of the table as 4 rupee. Then think about how we can consider the cost price of chair, or which will be the value you have to put here. So that is 1/4 less. Here 1 we have to subtract, then we will get the chair's cost price is 3 rupee. You just simply consider, because we are going to find out the percentage. Therefore, you just simply consider the cost price of a chair is 3 rupee and that of table is 4 rupee. You don't want to put any kind of variables here because we are going to find out the percentage value. Then it is given that if a man sells 5 chairs at the cost price of 7 tables, correct? So therefore, how we can write it is selling price of 5 chairs is equal to the cost price of 7 tables. Cost price of 7 tables. Then we are going to find out what is the cost price, or what's the expense he made and what's the revenue he received. So selling price of 5 chairs is equal to the cost price of 7 tables. So what is selling price of 5 chairs? Instead of considering the steps like this, selling price of 5 chairs is nothing but 5 into 3. So that's equal to 15 rupee. Correct. He is actually selling 5 chairs. That means his cost is 15 rupee. Correct. So therefore, that is his cost price. And cost price of 7 tables. So 7 tables you can consider that's equal to 7 into 4. That is 28. Clear. So actually what happened here? He spent only 15 rupee, but he received a revenue which is equal to 28 rupee. Don't forget, this is the actual cost towards him, and this is the actual revenue he received. Understand the point? He sold 5 chairs only, exactly 5 chairs. That means he spent this much rupee, but he received the revenue, that is 74.28. Now this difference is profit. So how it will become? 15 plus 13. So that's equal to 28. So therefore we are going to find out the profit percentage. This 13 is what percent of cost price? 13 by 15 into 100%. Just simplify it. So how to simplify it? So here we can simplify only these two values. This is 20 by 3. So this is equal to 260 divided by 3. Simplify it. So here we know that 3 into 8 will be equal to 24. So remaining 2 is there, that is 20. So therefore that is 6 times of 3 is equal to 18. So remaining 2 will be there. Then it will further 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, etc. Hence the answer is option 3. So understand that concept. This assumption is very important. Based on this assumption, we can catch the answer. Then we can consider the next question. A boat moves downstream at the rate of 8 km per hour and upstream at 4 km per hour. The speed of the boat in still water. So that's a direct question. Speed of boat in still water. Speed of boat in still water. So that basically the average of these two speeds. That is upstream speed plus downstream speed divided by 2. So that's a direct application. Here we know that the upstream speed is 8 km per hour and downstream speed is 8 km per hour and upstream speed is 4 km per hour. Hence the speed of the boat in still water, that's simply, this is 4 plus 8 by 2. So this is equal to 6. So that is 6 km per hour. So that's a direct application. What do you want to do? In connection with this question, you have to learn the basic results, all the results, because how to find the speed of the stream and some additional questions related to this birds and streams, because it's easy to learn and easy to apply. You won't get much more complicated questions here, so you can easily score from this area. It's another very easy question. Here 1101 the whole square, it is given as 1212201. Then we are going to find out the root of that right side part, but there is a point inserted here. This is 121.2201. 2201. What is root? Here we know that if it is directly, what is the root of, if the point is not here? If the point is not here, directly you can write this is 1212201. So that's equal to 1101. It's given. And with this root, a point, if you are considering, this is 121.2201. Now, how many decimal places here? 4 decimal places. 4 decimal places. Then its root contains only 2 decimal places. Therefore, how we can express it? 2 decimal places. You can write it as 11.01. So if this under root value contains 4 decimal places, its root contains 2 decimal places. That's exactly half of this value. Got it? So here the answer is 11.01. Simple. 3 men ABC working together can do a job in 6 hours, less time than A alone, in 1 hour less time than B alone, and in 1/2 the time needed by C when working alone. Then A and B together can do the job. So here we have to find out A and B together can do the job. It's one of the advanced kind of question, not at the basic level question. You have to learn how to solve this type of questions. So here I'll teach you the most effective method for finding the answer of such a question. Here, first of all, we have to arrange the given data. How to arrange this given data? That simply, it is given that 3 men ABC working together can do a piece of work, job in 6 hours less time than A alone. First of all, we are considering these 3 persons, A, B, C. They together required X days. We are starting from here. If they together required X days, that is 6 hours less time than A alone. Then what's the time A alone required? What's the time A alone required? That is 6 hours more than this time. Like that we can consider in the reverse form. So that is X plus 6 days. Similarly, what's the time B required? It is given that they together required 1 hour less than the time required by B alone. Therefore, in reverse, this is X plus 1 days. And what about C? It is given that they together required exactly half the time of C alone required. Therefore, C alone required 2X. How we can connect it? It's a case of combined efficiency. That means the efficiency of A, B and C, that is 1 by X. So then that is same as the efficiency of A plus efficiency of B plus efficiency of Z. So that is 2X. Clear? So I'm taking this 1 by 2X towards left side. Therefore, this is 1 by X minus 1 by 2X is equal to 1 by X plus 6 plus 1 by X plus 1. How it is? This is equal to 1 by 2X on left side. So that is 1 by X plus 6 by 1 by x plus 1. Here, a very important understanding required at this point, because we are going to find out A and B together how many days required. So here we know that this 2x, 2x is the time taken by C, and x plus 6, x plus 1 are the time taken by A and B. So from this step, we got an inference that the efficiency of C is same as the combined efficiency of A and B. So that's an important point in this question. And we have to apply that point at the final step of this operation for avoiding much more complicated calculation. Then after this step, we are going to simplify it. We are going to simplify it. So therefore, if you are simply how to simplify it, this is 1 by 2x. So you just make a cross multiplication here. This is x plus 1 plus x plus 6 divided by x plus 6 into x plus 1. So we have to do the further step of operation here. So this is equal to 1 by 2x is equal to, on right side numerator, this is 2x plus 7 divided by denominator x square plus 7x plus 6. Just do the cross multiplication. Here x square plus 7x plus 6 is same as 4x square plus 14x. So make it as a fair quadratic equation form. Here it is 4x square plus 7x minus 6 equal to 0. How to find the root of such a quadratic equation? It's a very important point, how to find the root. So understand how to find the root. You just simply multiply these two values, 6 into 4. What is 6 into 4? That's equal to 24, but you have to write that as minus 24 because this is negative 6. Or in any way, you have to find the root. Here I am explaining how to find the root quickly. Then you just think about 2 factors of 24. Their difference should be equal to 7. 2 factors of 24, the difference should be equal to 7. So here one more important step required. So instead of this 4x square, what you have to write? This is equal to 3x square. So that part also we have to write. Right. So this is equal to x square plus 7x. So this is 3x square, right? 3x square. Then you have to apply the result. So in such a situation, this is 3 into 6. That's equal to 18. Instead of this 24, that's equal to 18. So this is minus 18. Think about its 2 factors. The difference should be equal to 7. Why its difference? This is negative. This is negative. Therefore, that's equal to 9 and 2. We got the factors 9 and 2. Their product is 18 and the difference is 9. Sorry, difference is 7. That's the required difference here. Then after this step, what you want to do here, understand this x square. It has a coefficient other than 1. You have to divide both these roots by that coefficient. Both these roots by that coefficient. Then the final step, we are giving sign to these two values. How to identify the sign? So what is the sign of this middle term? If it is positive, this largest value becomes negative. As the product is negative, if one value is negative, the other one is positive. This is one method I explained here to find the roots quickly. If you didn't get it properly, you just apply the normal factorization method for finding the roots. Here we got the roots are minus 9 by 3 and 2 by 3. You have to take the positive square root here. It's positive square root. So if you are taking the positive square root here, x is equal to 2 by 3. And understand, or just recall this point. We are going to find out the time taken by A and B. Correct? So therefore, time taken by A and B. Time taken by A and B. So what is the time taken by A and B? We already mentioned that that's same as the time taken by C. So time taken by C, we assumed as time taken by C, we assumed as 2x. Therefore, time taken by A and B, that's also we can assume as 2x. So as we got the value of x as 2 by 3, this is 2 into 2 by 3. So our answer is 4 by 3. Got it? So this is the answer. So that's why I mentioned that it's a little more complicated one. It's a little more advanced one. But understand the method to find the answer of such a question. Here the answer is option 4, that is 4 by 3 hours. So here we mentioned in the form of days, but that's hours actually. Got it? So this is the way to find the answer of similar type of questions. So it's very important kind of approach towards this type of a question. Here these all things are hours only, not days. Got it? Not days. So therefore how we can write, this is x hours, this is x plus 6 hours, this is x plus 1 hours, this is 2x hours. Clear? Now consider the next question. A takes 3 times as long as B and C together to do a job. B takes 4 times as long as A and C together to do the work. If all the 3 working together can complete the job in 24 days, then the number of days A alone will take to finish the job. It's another little more advanced kind of question, not at the basic level question. But you have to learn how to solve this type of questions, because then only you can create such a kind of confidence and you can confidently face almost all the questions in your exams. You can expect this kind of questions, not much complicated, but a little bit tricky one. So you have to learn the approaching style towards such a question. So here, this one. A takes 3 times long as B and C together to do a job. So first of all, you have to understand the basic form. The time taken by A and time taken by B and C are in the ratio 3:1. Therefore, here we can consider time taken by A. I just write in the short form like this. Time taken by A divided by time taken by B and C are in the ratio 3:1. Therefore, efficiency of A, its result, efficiency of A divided by efficiency of B and C, that should be the inverse of this ratio. What it is? This is 1 by 3. Got it? That's the first very important understanding. Here efficiencies, we are not simply writing efficiency, because A is representing the efficiency of A and B plus C is representing the combined efficiency of B and C. But whenever we are expressing the required time, at that time we are not writing it directly, we are using an arrow for representing the number of days there. Otherwise we have to express like this. Got it? By using the same logic, here we will get B takes 4 times as long as A and C. B takes 4 times as long as A and C, therefore we can write it as 1 by 4. From here we are starting. So how to do the operations here? So by using this relations, A by B plus C and B by A plus C. So how we can convert it? So we can rewrite that step here. So here, this is A by B plus C, that is equal to 1 by 3, and B by A plus C, that is 1 by 4. Here, the sum of these two values equal to 4 and sum of these two values equal to 5. Our next step, we have to make the sum of both the values are same. So this sum is 4. If we want to multiply it with 5, so that will become 20. Here sum is equal to 4. If we are multiplying, sum is equal to 5. If we are multiplying on the numerator and denominator by 4, so the sum also will become equal to same. So why we are doing such an operation here, A plus B plus C, here this is while adding these numerator and denominator, that's also another A plus B plus C. We have to make both the values are same. So that's a conversion here. So you can write this is 5 by 13 and this as 4 by 16. We just simply take this A equal to 5. From this arrangement, A is equal to 5 and B plus C equal to 13. As per this first ratio, this is A equal to 5 and B plus C equal to 13. Similarly, from the second fraction, B equal to 4 and A plus C equal to 16. we just substitute the values of A and B in reverse order. That means B is equal to 4 if we are substituting here. If B equal to 4, then what will be the value of C if B equal to 4? So then the value of C is equal to 9. Got it? So here we just consider, in this case, if we are doing the operations here, this denominator is instead of 13, this is 15. This is 15. So instead of 13, that is 15. Clear? So this is 15. Don't forget that point. This is 15. If it is 15, what is the value of C? So here the value of C is 11. Just substitute A equal to 5 here. Now what is the value of C here? So here C is also 11. Got it? So it's matching. In both the cases we got the same value for C. That means we can take the values of A, B and C are these values. A equal to 5, B equal to 4, C equal to 11. So then we are moving to the next step. Here we just conclude these things. A is equal to 5, B equal to 4, C equal to 11. Don't forget, these are the efficiencies of these three persons. Efficiencies. How we can understand, practically think about the situation. A can complete 5 units of work per day. B can complete similar 4 units of work per day and C can complete 11 units. And our question contains the data. If all the three working together can complete a job in 24 days. If all the three, A plus B plus C, they can complete a work in 24 days. Then A alone, how many days? If all the three can complete a work in 24 days, then A alone, how many days? So this is the question. How we can use this efficiency concept for finding the answer of such a question? So that's the basic idea. A plus B plus C. What is their efficiency? While we are adding this efficiency, this is 5 plus 4 plus 11. That's equal to 20. So this 20 unit efficiency can complete this work in 24 days. Then A alone. So this is A plus B plus C. Then what is A alone? What is the efficiency of A? That is 5. So how many days A required? So that we are going to find out. Here you have to understand the very basic results of this time and work. Efficiency into time, that is work. That's same as here also efficiency into time. Then how we can find this value? This is simply 20 into 24 by 5. 20 into 24 by 5. Just simplify it. This is 4. This is 24 into 4. That is equal to 96 days. That means A alone required 96 days for the completion of this work. So that's the tricky type of question here. Such an important question. So therefore, it's very important you have to learn the method to solve such a question. Clear? Move to the next question. Here, it's a direct question. PQR in geometric progression. Then which is true among the following? If PQR are in GP, PQR are in GP, geometric progression. We know that this Q is equal to, or Q square equal to P into R. P into R will be equal to Q square. Or Q equal to root of P into R. That's the basic result. Here we don't want to consider any kind of substitutions. Directly look at the options which relationship is there. And there the another relationship also we can consider. So if PQR in GP, then Q by P is same as R by Q. That's also here. So I am simply writing the expressions related to the options. So here one option, it is given, in the case of GP, there is not any summation details. So therefore, it's not the answer. And second one in the form P square equal to QR. We know that Q square equal to PR. Therefore, it's also not. and q equal to root PR, yeah, it's satisfying. Q equal to root PR. And this kind of an expression also here, but that's not exactly. Here this is P by R equal to R by Q. But actually it should be Q by P equal to R by Q. So therefore this is also not. Hence the answer is option 3. Okay, then the next question. It's a question from geometry. ABC is an isosceles triangle where AB equal to AC, which is circumscribed about a circle. If P is the point where the circle touches the side BC, then which of the following is true? For this type of question, you just simply draw a diagram. While we are drawing such a diagram, here first you can consider a circle and there is a triangle. Its side touches this circle like this. So we are thinking about such a triangle. This is A, B, C. This is an isosceles triangle, whereas AB equal to AC. Here AB equal to AC. And this point, that is P. So I am writing these points are Q and this point of contact, that is R. So it is given that AB equal to AC. So therefore, here we can write AQ equal to AR. AQ equal to AR. Suppose this AQ equal to A, then AR also equal to A. Why? This AQ equal to AR. So we just name that as A. Why it happened? Those are the tangents from an outside point to a circle. Correct. So therefore, these are tangents from same point. Got it? Tangents from same point. In the similar way, we can consider these two places also. Suppose this is BB, that is BQ equal to BP. BQ equal to BP. So I just named that as B. That's also the same reason. Tangent from same outside point B. And these two length CR and CP, we just consider that's equal to CR equal to CP equal to Z. Right. And it is given that ABC, triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle means its two sides are equal. It is clearly mentioned that AB equal to AC. Here given AB equal to AC. So as per our assumption, what is AB? AB is A plus B. AB is A plus B. What is AC? That is A plus C. A plus C. So from this, we can reach a conclusion that here B equal to C. Here B equal to C. Therefore, B equal to C. If B equal to C, what we are going to find out then which of the following is true? Which of the following is true? So here the relationship between BP and BC we are considering. As B equal to C, then we can conclude BP equal to PC. BP equal to PC. Therefore, it's directly given the option that's equal to BP equal to PC. So this is the proof actually. But understand that's basic idea. In an isosceles triangle, a circle is inscribed. Inscribed in the sense, so that circle touches all the three sides. Then definitely the triangle should become an equilateral triangle. Got it? In an isosceles triangle, if a circle is inscribed, then that triangle become an equilateral triangle. Otherwise, it's not possible. So therefore, we have to consider this point of contact in any side. That is exactly the midpoint of that side. There's a trick behind such a question. So in this kind of a competitive exam, it's not mandatory that you have to do the entire steps of operations like this. Instead, you have to understand the concept. Based on that basic result or the concept, you can reach the conclusion easily. Got it? So this is the actual proof, even though you have to keep this kind of general concepts in your mind. If a circle inscribed in an isosceles triangle, definitely that triangle is an equilateral. Equilateral means all the three sides are equal. This is another one concept or type of question from geometry. In an isosceles triangle ABC, AB equal to AC, XY parallel to BC, angle A equal to 30 degree then BXY. Here also you have to draw a diagram. So here it's also an isosceles triangle. It's also an isosceles triangle. We just draw an isosceles triangle. ABC. AB equal to AC. These two sides are AB and AC are equal. XY parallel to BC. So simply you just draw a parallel line which is XY, that is parallel to BC. Angle A equal to 30 degree. This is 30 degree. Then we have to find BXY. This angle we have to find. As we know, angle A equal to 30 degree, these two base angles are same. Therefore, here we know that angle B equal to angle C, which is equal to this 30 degree. Then what is the sum of the other two angles? So we know that the total angle sum is equal to 180 degree. 180 degree. Here A is 30 degree. And these two angles are equal. Therefore, B and C, the sum is equal to 180 minus 30. Therefore, B and C, that's equal to by 2. 180 minus 30 by 2. What is 180 minus 30? 150. 150 by 2, that's 75 degree each. 75 degree each. So, these angles are 75 and this is also 75. Got it? And here, this angle and this angle, what's the relationship here? These two angles are supplementary. Got it? These two angles are supplementary because XY is parallel to BC. As XY is parallel to BC, angle BXY plus angle ABC or XBC. So that's equal to 180 degree. That means they are supplementary. This angle equal to 75 degree. We know that. This is 75 degree. Right. So that means angle BXY plus 75 degree is equal to 180 degree. Therefore, our required angle, that is BXY. So that is 180 minus 75. That's equal to 105 degree. 105 degree. So this is based on that basic results. So that is the angle sum. Those all are very basic ideas of geometry. Angle sum conditions there, and this parallel lines or parallel to one base. Then these two, what is the relationship between these two angles? Those are co-interior angles. Technically that is called co-interior angles. So sum of those two angles will be equal to 180 degree, or those two angles are supplementary. So that's the basic idea we applied here. The next one, it's a data interpretation type question. Actually, it's not like that. It's a data analysis one. Not much complicated. Just read and understand the concept. Between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., a fitness band records the following data. Refer the following data table and answer the question. How long was the user in deep sleep or was awake? Got it. So this one we have to consider a total duration. Here, what is the total duration? 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. What is the total duration? 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So total duration is, so this is 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. 8 hours is there. So total duration is 8 hours. Here the required stages, deep sleep or awake. So deep sleep, this entire times 15% under deep sleep, and it's 35% under awake conditions. So therefore, the required percentage means deep sleep or awake. Got it? So therefore, if you are considering the total percentage values for deep sleep and awake, so that is deep sleep or awake. So here we can consider that or in the form of addition, because those two things happen, or any one among those two things. That means 15% of 35%. Two such conditions. How long that person kept in those two conditions, that we are going to find out. That is 15% plus 35%. What it means, this many times here, total duration, we already reached the conclusion that that is 8 hours. So this is equal to 35 and 15, which is equal to 50%. So this is 50% of the total duration. That's a simple logic. 50% of the total duration. What is 50% of the total duration? That's equal to 4 hours. Here the answer is 4 hours. So that's such a simple question. You have to understand how to interpret the data. What they asked, that's the very important point here. Maybe students are facing difficulty in similar kind of questions, how to interpret the data. Yeah, another beautiful question from mixtures. So it's application of ratio. Basically, it's the application of ratio. So just read and understand it. The milk and water in 2 vessels A and B are in the ratio 4:3 and 2:3 respectively. In what ratio the liquids in both the vessels be mixed to obtain a new mixture in vessel C containing half milk and half water? So how to consider this one here? Milk and water. Milk and water. The first solution, A, it contains milk and water in the ratio 4:3. And the second solution, it contains milk and water in the ratio 2:3. So we need half milk and half water. Half milk and half water. That's the condition here. So C should contains half milk and half water, means milk and water should be equal. So while we got such a set of ratio, we just simply take these values as the exact quantities of milk and water in both the solutions. That means solution A, it contains 7 liters of the solution. Solution A, its total weight is 7 liters. And the quantity of the solution B, that is 5 liters. Suppose we are assuming like that, then 4 liter of milk is there, 3 liter of water, 2 liter of milk in the second solution, 3 liter of water in the second solution. While we are adding these two values, this is equal to 6. While we are adding these two values, that's also equal to 6. Our requirement satisfied. What is the requirement here? Half milk and half water. Means milk and water should be equal. Milk and water should be equal. It's satisfied. Then we don't want to do any kind of alterations in the ratio. Otherwise, we have to do it. Here we don't want to do any kind of alterations. So therefore, how we can assume? We used 7 liters of the solution and 5 liters of the second solution. Our question is, in which ratio we have to blend these two solutions? So therefore, the required ratio is nothing but 7:5. 7:5. Suppose if it is not satisfying like this in the through direct addition, then you have to apply XX here, YY here, then apply as per the ratios. You have to find out what is the relationship between X and Y, then do it further. But in this question, it's an easy thing. While adding the basic ratio value itself, we got the required ratio. So that's a trick behind this question. And another one, that's a question from surds. A and B are rational numbers. A and B are rational numbers. And A minus 1 into root 2. A minus 1 into root 2 plus 3, which is equal to B root 2 plus A. Then A plus B is a tricky one. So here the trick we are applying, that is equate the like terms. You have to observe the presence of this root 2 in both the places. What is the coefficient of root 2 here? That is A minus 1. So therefore, you can consider this A minus 1 as B. And what is the constant term here? That is 3. Here it is A. So we can equate the like terms here. So here we can write A equal to 3 and A minus 1 equal to B. Clear? Therefore, what is B? That is A minus 1, 3 minus 1, which is equal to 2. Such a tricky question. You don't want to do anything more here. Then we are going to find out. Therefore, we are going to find out what is A plus B. a plus b, that's simply 3 plus 2, that is 5. So which trick we applied here? Equate the like terms. How it become possible? Here the presence of root 2, that rational term, supported us for finding or doing this kind of comparison. So compare the like terms. So like terms in the sense, here the coefficients of root 2 in both the expressions and the constant terms from both the expressions. So we just equate it. The next one, it's another question from surds. So the term surds. Correct. It's another question from surds. Here it's an important question, like you have to find the square root of the surd. How to find the square root of a surd? You have to consider square root of a surd in the sense root x we are going to find out. Root x, how we can find this 3 minus 2 root 2. So from this one, how to find the square root, as x is equal to 3 minus 2 root 2. A surd is usually given in the form sum of two values plus or minus 2 into root of the product of those two values. Usually we are expressing a surd like this. So therefore, what is root x means? That is simply, you have to find this a and b. So therefore take root a minus, because this is minus, middle sign is minus, therefore that is root a minus root b. So what do you want to do? You just simply think about these two expressions. Just because of the presence of 2, you have to compare the values here. This 3 is a plus b and 2 is ab. Correct. Think about such two values. A plus b is equal to 3 and ab equal to 2. Which are the suitable values for a and b here? A and b. So while we are considering these two conditions, a equal to 2 and b equal to 1. Think about these two values. The product is 2 and sum is equal to 3. So we can take those a and b are 2 and 3. Take a as the largest value. Therefore, this root x is nothing but, that is root 2 minus root 1. This root 1 is nothing but 1. So this is a way to find the square root of a surd. If the presence of 2 is there, if the presence of 2 is not there, you have to make that presence as 2. Rest all the factors you have to keep inside. Or if this outside it not contains such a 2, take it 2 from inside. So like that we have to arrange. Anyway, this is the basic step, that is sum minus plus or minus. Here I just put the minus sign because this is minus. Plus or minus 2 root product. That's the basic nature or the structure of a surd. Then after that, this is the first part only. We got what is root x. We are going to find out root x plus 1 by root x. How to solve it. So we got the value of root x as root 2 minus 1. Here root x. So that is root 2 minus 1. Why this minus? Just because our expression contains minus. Then we are moving to the next step, that is what is 1 by root x. So that is 1 by root 2 minus 1. For finding this value, we just multiply both the numerator and denominator with the conjugate of denominator. So conjugate means we just put a plus sign here instead of minus. So this is root 2 plus 1. So what will be the result here after simplifying this one? Here the numerator is simply root 2 plus 1. Denominator just like a square minus b square. A square minus b square. This numerator is root 2 plus 1. Denominator is root 2 square is equal to 2 minus 1. So that is 1. As we got root x equal to root 2 minus 1 and 1 by root x equal to root 2 plus 1. We are going to find out what is root x plus 1 by root x. Therefore, root x plus 1 by root x. So that is root 2 minus 1 plus root 2 plus 1. What will happen here? This minus 1 plus 1 will become eliminated and finally we will get 2 root 2. So the answer is option 4, 2 root 2. Here, which are the things you have to keep in your mind? First of all, you have to understand what are surds and the basic concept of surds and its conjugate operations. That thing you have to learn. And how to find out the square root of a surd. And how to take the rationalization part here, like the reciprocal of a surd, how to find it easily. And the final stage, that's the usual operations. So square root and this rationalization operations are important in this question. Okay, then move to the next question. The radius of the incircle of an equilateral triangle ABC of side 2 root 3 unit is x centimeter, the value of x. Here the radius of the incircle of an equilateral triangle. So here we have to draw a circle, and its triangle also we just construct like this. Triangle also we can construct. Good. Its radius is 2 root 3. Its radius is 2 root 3. So while we are constructing the radii like this, each radii 2 root 3. Side 2 root 3 is x centimeter. So this is x. The side of this equilateral triangle is 2 root 3. Then the value of x we have to find out. How to find it? Here we just consider the height or the altitude of this triangle. Altitude of this triangle. So this altitude. Okay. This altitude is distributed or separated by this incenter. This incenter in an equilateral triangle is acting in the form of a centroid also. So that's in the ratio 2:1. That's in the ratio 2:1. First of all, we have to consider how to find the height of an equilateral triangle and how to find the in radius of such a thing. Suppose we are considering the side of an equilateral triangle is A. Then its height, that is root 3 by 2a. Then the in radius, that is equal to 1 by 3 of height. Why it's 1 by 3? This height or the altitude separated by the centroid, or that's the incenter, all are same in an equilateral triangle, are in the ratio 1:2. So that means this length, that's the radius of this circle, that is 1 by 3 of this total height. So here height we have the result, that is 1 by 3 of root 3 by 2a. So while we are simplifying this one, this is equal to 1a by 2 root 3. A by 2 root 3. Then we can apply this one. Here it is given that its side is equal to 2 root 3. Its side is 2 root 3. Therefore, what is the radius here? This is 2 root 3 by 2 root 3. What you will get? So that's equal to 1 centimeter. Here the answer is 1 centimeter. So it's a result-wise approach. So based on these results, we are applying it directly. Clear? Now move to the next question. If the diagonal of a rhombus are 16 and 30 centimeter, what is the perimeter of the rhombus? A tricky question. So here you just consider a rhombus we just consider. We can draw a rhombus like this, rhombus. And in this rhombus, if you want to draw it perfectly, we can try it. So if you want to draw a rhombus like this. Is a rhombus. Clear? So in this rhombus, its diagonals of a rhombus are 16 centimeter and 30 centimeter. Suppose this is 30 centimeter and this is 60 centimeter. Clear? So therefore, 30 centimeter in the sense this is 15, this length is 50. And 16 centimeter means this is 8, this is also 8. Got it? And understand, in rhombus, both the diagonals are equal in length and they will bisect at 90 degree. They will bisect at 90 degree. That's a very important point. That intersection, there the angle is 90 degree, right angle. So now we got a right triangle here, such 4 right triangles. Can you recall the Pythagorean triplet? So Pythagorean triplets. So what is the Pythagorean triplets related to this value? So that is 8, 15, 70. You can directly apply it. Otherwise, you can apply the Pythagoras theorem. So here, root of 8 square plus 15 square, that's equal to 17 square. 17. So therefore, its third side, that is 17 in each case, 17 in each case, 17 in each case. Clear? Means side of the rhombus. Side of rhombus. So that is 17 centimeter. We are going to find out the perimeter. So how to find the perimeter? Perimeter is 4 into 17. So what is 4 into 17? 68 centimeter. And the answer is option 4. Clear? So this is the way to reach a conclusion. That's a tricky concept of Pythagorean triples or triplet. This Pythagorean triplet you have to by heart, because there are basically some more Pythagorean triplets are there, 3:4:5, 5:12, 13, 7:24, 25, like that. So those kinds of very basic type Pythagorean triplets are very useful in this type of question. You can expect such a question related to Pythagorean triplets. Now the next question is related to the train. It's a frequently tested type question, the same type of question. 2 trains leave Varanasi for Lucknow at 11 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. respectively, and travel at speed of 110 km per hour and 140 km per hour respectively, because the first train speed is 110 and second train speed is 140. What will happen? First train start at 11 o'clock. Second train half hours later it started, but the second train speed is greater than the first train. Definitely the second train, it will overtake the first train at a certain instant. So we have to find out at which distance from the starting point both the trains meet. Clear? That's a common frequently asked type of question. So what is the trick behind such a question? How to solve it? How to solve it? There is a common method whenever you will get similar type of question. First of all, you have to write the ratio of their speeds. We are going to write the ratio of their speeds. First train 110, second train 140. So the speeds we can write in the ratio form 11:14. 11:14. Got it? 110 and 140. You just simply write 11:14. And if the speeds are like this, what is the time? Time ratio. It's time ratio. Time ratio, that's simple. We just write its inverse. That is 14:11. That is 14:11. Now, what's the difference in their time as per the ratio values? That is 3. As per ratio values, that is 3. Practically what happened? This second train or the first train, it took 30 minutes more than second train to cover that constant distance. At that particular moment, when the second train meet the first train, at that point, both the trains covered equal distance. For covering that constant distance, the first train took 30 minutes more than second train. Therefore, this 3 is representing 30 minutes. Got it? Then you can find any one time here. Either the first train took or the second train took. So I am taking this first train. If 3 is 30 minutes, 14 is 140 minutes. Got it? 140 minutes. So that's the direct unitary approach. 3 into 10. That is 30 minutes. This is 14 into 10. 140 minutes. What is this 140 minutes? It's a hour form. This is 140 by 6. hours, 140 by 6 hours, or 140 by 6 you can simplify it like further. So that is 70 by 3. 70 by 3 hours. Keep it in this form itself because we have to do further operation. Then we have to find that distance. So we are going to find out respectively how many kilometers from Varanasi will both the trains meet. So we are going to find the required distance. Required distance. This required distance is nothing but the distance covered by the first train in 70 by 3 hours by the first train in 70 by 3 hours. So understand that concept clearly. That's the trick. It's very important. So what is the distance covered by the first train in this many hours? So how to find the distance? Speed into time. What is the speed of the first train? That is 110 km per hour. That is 110 into 70 by 3. So this is the answer. Just simplify it, or how to simplify it. So here this is equal to. So we just simplify the operations here. This is 110 km per hour and the time taken is 70 by 3. So after simplifying this one, this is equal to 7,700 by 3. Got it? So like that, if you are doing the simplification process, like this is 7,700 by 3. How it will become? This is 2 times of 3, that is 6 is here, then 1, 17 is there. 5 times here, that's equal to 15. Then 20 is there. So therefore this is 6 times here, that is 18. Then 2 is there, or 20 is there. Got it? Like that we have to consider. So this is 140 by 6 hours, 330 minutes, 140 minutes, 140 by, okay. There is a slight mistake in this basic assumption. So that we have to consider weight. So 140 minutes. So this is 140 by 60. Don't forget that. A silly mistake there. 60. So this is 70 by 30. So both the values we can cancel. So that is equal to 7 by 3 hours. 7 by 3 hours. So this is 7 by 3 hours. This is 7 by 3 hours. Then how we can solve it? This is 770 by 3. 770 by 3. So therefore 6 is there, 17 is there, 5, that is 15. Then 20 is there. So therefore 18. So remainder 2 is there. Therefore we can write this value as 256 and 2 by 3. 256 and 2 by 3 kilometer. 256 and 2 by 3 kilometer. So therefore the answer is option A. So here the answer is 256 and 2 by 3 kilometer. Understand that point. I just made a silly mistake in between, that as 60. Instead of 60, I just wrote that as 6. Okay. So understand those types of minute things. And here the second last question we just consider. A person goes to his office by scooter at the speed of 50 km per hour and reaches 10 minutes earlier. If he goes at the speed of 40 km per hour, then he reaches 20 minutes late. What will be the speed of the scooter to reach on time? So here the actual concept, it's about time difference. Here if he is traveling at 50 km per hour, reaches 10 minutes earlier. Otherwise 40 km per hour, 20 minutes late. Good. Like that we just consider. So here the distance distance is constant. He is covering a constant distance. So first of all, I just give you the basic idea of this kind of assumption, and after that I just give you the direct result for finding the answer of similar type of questions. It's simply, if he is traveling at 50 km per hour, he is 10 minutes earlier. 10 minutes early. So this 10 minutes early, or if he is traveling at 40 km per hour, he is late by 20 minutes. Here, what is the time difference in both the cases? Time difference means, suppose we just consider these two are two persons. First person reached 10 minutes early. Second person reached 20 minutes late. What's the time gap between them? Time difference is nothing but the sum of these two times. So here, the time difference. So that is 30 minutes. 30 minutes, or that is same as 1 by 2, half of an hour. By applying this concept, we can find the answer. Got it? In such a question, here, distance, when we traveled at 40 km per hour, he will take too much time. And distance traveled at 50 km per hour, comparatively lesser time required than the previous one. This time difference is 1 by 2. That is 1 by 2 hours. That's the trick here. There's a time difference equal to 1 by 2 hours. Don't forget, here the speeds are in kilometer per hour. You have to keep this time difference also in the form of hours. Just simplify it, you will get the value of D. So here, after simplifying this one, this is nothing but, so here D into 1 by 40 minus 1 by 50 is equal to 1 by 2. So like that we can proceed it. So here D is equal to, after simplifying this one, this is 200, right? That's LCM. So this is 5 minus 4, that is 1 by 200, that is 1 by 2. So therefore, what is distance to here? Distance here is equal to 100 kilometer. 100 kilometer. And we are going to find out what will be the speed to reach on time. Then here we are considering what is the speed here. If he is traveling at 50 km per hour, like that we can consider. So if the speed is equal to 50 km per hour, then time is equal to 100 by 50. 100 by 50, that's equal to 2 hours, which is 10 minutes early. Which is 10 minutes early. Got it? Therefore, he don't want to travel at that speed. Therefore, if this 2 hours is 10 minutes early. Got it? Therefore, what's the actual time? So that is 10 minutes less than 2 hours. 10 minutes less than 2 hours. If he needs to travel 10 minutes less than 2 hours. Clear? So this is, which is 10 minutes early. So then, how to do it? So then, the actual time, therefore, the actual time or the duration of the trip. So that's equal to 2 hours is nothing but 120 minutes. Therefore, minus 10 minutes, this is 10 minutes early, therefore the required time, that is 120 plus 10. So therefore, which is equal to 130 minutes. So he needs to reach office in 130 minutes. Then what's the speed? This 130 minutes is nothing but 130 by 60 hours. Don't forget, we are again converting it in the form of hours. Therefore, the required speed. So that's again distance. Don't forget, distance we got, that is 100. Now the speed we got, that is 130 by 60. Sorry, time is 130 by 60. Simplified. 130 by 60. That's equal to 600 by 13. 600 by 13. Simplified. Here we know that 13. So 600. When we divide 600 by 13, this is 4 times of 13. That's equal to 52. 8 is there. How many times this 13 lies in 8? So that's equal to 6 times. 6 times of 13, that's equal to 78. 2 is there. This is 46 and 2 by 13. This is 46 and 2 by 13. Kilometer per hour. So this is the entire step, 46 and 2 by 13. But it's lengthy. It's only for getting the concept. But how we can approach such a question easily without doing this many steps of operations? So here we can consider a direct approach towards such a question. So how to do this direct approach towards such a question instead of doing the operations like this? Clear? So here, if we are considering this kind of a question, so that's the simple way of approach. Is here we are considering if a person traveling at S1 kilometer per hour, he is early or late by T1. So T1 minutes early, and S2 kilometer per hour, he is T2 minutes late. So then we can apply it. If we need to find the distance, so that's simply S1 into S2 into time difference, that is T1 plus T2 by 60. Don't forget by 60 because we have to express in minutes, divided by S1 minus S2. This is the first result. Second result, if we need to consider the speed, directly speed, so the required speed on time, when he reach on time, that is S1 into S2 into this T1 plus T2 divided by S1 into T1 plus S2 into T2. This time you don't want to put the by 60 here because here the numerator and denominator contains S1 and T1, sorry, T1 and T2. So therefore we have to write the value. So here we just substitute the values here. So in this case we can substitute the values here. So here the speed, if you need to find the speed, the first speed, that is 50 km per hour, second speed, that is 40 km per hour, and this time difference, that's equal to 10 minutes and 20 minutes, 10 plus 20. And on denominator, S1 into T1, that is 50 into 10 plus S2 into T2, that is 40 into 20. Just simplify it. So then you will get the same answer like the previous one. So this is the direct application towards this type of question. You can apply this result for finding the distance and this result for finding the speed. Then if the question is asking about what's the exact time he needs to reach this office, so you just simply divide this distance by speed, you will get the another result. So you just try it. Then we can move to the final question. In how many years will a sum of 800 at 10% per annum compounded semi-annually become 96.10? There is a result-wise approach, but at the same time here we can consider a tricky, easiest approach also. That's the concept of successive variation. First of all, we just consider here the principal amount is 800. And what is the rate of interest? That is 10% per annum. But if you are converting it into semi-annually, semi-annually is nothing but half-yearly. What do you want to do? You just split this 10% by 5% each half-yearly. 5% half-yearly. Got it? Then, what is the method we are applying here? Simply we are considering this 800. In the first half year, it's increased by 5%. What is 5% of 800? 5% of 800. That can, if you are strong enough in such a calculation, you can reach the answer easily. So 5% of 800 is nothing but 10% of 800 is 80. 5% of 800, it's half. 80, it's half. That is 40. So therefore, this becomes 840. Don't forget this compound interest is nothing but a successive variation. And it's 5% we just consider. We are going to check at which step we will reach this 926.10. Got it? That kind of a tricky approach we are following here. So we can check it further. So here 5% of this value, that is 42. 42, because 10% of 840 is 84. Its half is 42. So add up together, this is 882. And further, one more 5% we can take. Now, what is 5% of this value? That's equal to 44.2, 44.1. Just add up together. So here, this is equal to 0.1, 2 plus 4, 6. This is 2, that is 926.1. Look at the required value, that is the required value here. After how many half years? This is first half year, second half year, third half year. Got it? After 3 half years, we reached such an amount, 926.1. So this is 1 half year, 2 half year, 3 half year. Or we can consider like this half year in the sense, this occurred in 0.5 years, this occurred in another 0.5 years, therefore this occurred in another 0.5 years. The total how many years or the period it took? So total 1.5 years. Clear? 3 times. Therefore that's equal to 1.5 years. The question will be answered like this way. Easily we can find the answer of such a question. What is the conventional type of approach towards this question? There we can apply the result-wise method also for this type of question. So this is a conventional normal method. Instead, if you are following this another method, that's a result-wise approach. What is the result-wise approach? Here we can consider P into that amount. When we calculate this compounding half yearly, this is P into 1 plus R by 2 by 100 into 2n, where n is the year, R is the rate of interest per annum. So here the amount, that is 926.1, is equal to principal, that is 800. This is 1 plus 10% is there, 10 by 2 by 100, the whole raised to 2n. We are going to find out what is n. What is n? This is 926.1 into 800. This value 1 plus 5 by 100. 1 plus 5 by 100, we can write it as 21 by 20 directly, raised to 2n. So therefore, 21 by 20 raised to 2n is nothing but 926.1 by 800. Or this is 9261 divided by 8000. Here the trick applied. So then you have to catch how we can express this 9261 and 8000 in the form of 21 and 20. As we know, this denominator is 20 cube. Do you know? Denominator is 20 cube. Therefore, usually the numerator may be, that is cube of 21. Like that we can directly reach. So therefore, we got 2n, that's equal to 3. 3 means 3 years. Therefore, n is equal to 3 by 2, that is 1.5 years. So this is the result-wise approach. Got it? So which is the most easiest one? If we can catch the answer with the help of that previous method, that's better than this type of an approach. Yeah. So these are the types of or the different questions from this particular test, mock exams. So most of the questions you can easily answer with the help of this basic awareness. Anyway, in our further exams, you have to perform well based on these all understandings. Right now, we can wind up. Thank you.